Hey there, everybody. We're back with some pretty surprising and strange news, if I'm being totally honest. Tom Bergeron and Erin Andrews are leaving Dancing with the Stars after what feels like an eternity, especially for Tom. I mean, Tom is a staple, a mainstay, if you will. He is the commander of the ballroom. He is the guy who makes the show work. You can probably get a sense as to where my feelings are with this, but I'm not thrilled.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because, I mean, the idea is, and we'll get more into this, is that they want to breathe new life into the show, where they're then being like, okay, then we're going to kick off our hosts, going to keep our judges, because that seems to be what's going on right now, who have been the same judges for a very long time.
Yeah.
And this is the way that they're going to go about it. It is kind of strange because, I mean, we've seen Survivor for like 40 seasons with Jeff as the host, and they have found ways to breathe life into each season and make it different.
They don't have to change the host. We will,
Nope.
yeah, we'll get into it, but just a reminder from the start. Tom Bergeron has won an Emmy for this job of hosting dance. You don't get rid of people who have won an Emmy. But anyway, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because whenever Dancing with the Stars does come back, whenever that may be, forever, we will definitely have more discussion about it.
Yeah, well, we're actually going to talk about that for a second because it's Dancing with the Stars is doing a lot of really weird things right now. They are allegedly on the fall schedule. Fall schedule. So yeah, that could mean September, that could mean October, that could mean November. But just the same, the state of everything right now is so crazy and in flux. I mean, in California today, nothing's open anymore. Everything got shut down. And yet, Dancing with the Stars, everybody's going to go and do this show in the fall. I want everyone to just sort of temper our expectations, because I feel like it's not going to be as fast as we think. I don't think it's going to be September and it's going to come around, it's going to be on. And if it is, then I legit don't understand what they're doing. There's just not enough time to bring this back and be safe. Who's going to sign up for this during something like this? We don't even have Big Brother on the docket yet, and that is a show about people staying at home.
This is the big thing. I'm going to go back to one thing in particular you said. Who would sign up for this? Because I'm going to try to paint a picture, and this is the only realistic way that I could ever see Dancing with the Stars happening this season, is they say, you know what? We're going to make it like the NBA, where if you want to sign up on Dancing with the Stars, you got to lock yourself up somewhere for 2 weeks. Same goes for your partner. You have to do all this testing. You can't go home at any point during the show. You just have to spend the entirety of it in a hotel. You have to be far away from the judges, from everyone else. And it's sort of like...
And your family. So if you have kids, you have a wife, a husband, a partner, anyone, sorry for your luck.
Yeah, and we know that Dancing with the Stars, yes, they have their fair share of people who will do almost anything to be on TV, but there are a couple of, like, legitimately decent celebrities every season, Kel Mitchell, and, with that in mind, I gotta get my boy Kel in here.
Or you see people like James from last season. You think he's gonna leave his wife and his million children at home and not see them every day? It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't understand how they're gonna get really quality stars. I mean, I know Caitlin Bristow seems like she's on board right now, but it may have been more of a conditional yes when she was put on the spot about it.
Yeah, and it may not be a yes if they're like, oh, by the way, you can't see anyone that you're with, your family, nobody, for this whole time, because, when she was asked, it was a different time. Things are changing every minute.
Yeah, and so the Tom situation, there was a statement that was put out by ABC and BBC Studios who produced the show, and this was over at the Hollywood Reporter, and the words that really struck to me about Tom and Erin is that they basically said creative decision, which 9 times out of 10, it means we didn't want you to host the show anymore, and that just boggles my mind. Like, if Tom had been like, you know what, guys, peace. I've done this for a decade and a half. I can go sleep on my pile of money from this and America's Funniest Home Videos, aka let's watch people make fart noises for an hour. He could have done that, but creative decision? What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, and I mean, they're trying to make it seem like they're like, we're going to give this show a punch in the arm and we're going to breathe new life into it. But the hosts are not the problem. I mean, we need, if they're going to shake stuff up, and I hate to say this, you maybe need to shake up who your cast is. You might need to shake up a little bit the judging panel, bring in more people who are guest judges to breathe some new life. You don't have to fire everybody, but if you want to bring in somebody new to judge, that's okay too. I mean, that can help. It is just very strange that they're not going to just get rid of Tom. They're just going to wipe everybody out, because what's going to end up happening is we're going to have a new host, same judges, same types of celebrities. Everything else is just going to be the same.
It's going to be potentially a mess, and we've tried to think of a number of different reasons why this is happening. And one of the things that I kind of come to in my head here, if I'm, network executive guy and I'm sort of looking at this, I'm going to be like, well, look at the demo numbers. This show is skewing too old. We need a young, hip. It's like Tom is everyone's dad, or maybe he's some people's granddad at this point. He's been doing this a long time. But
even if that's true, then how does Erin get the axe?
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Dancing with the Stars has skewed old since the start. Like, if you're looking for young viewers, it's not, Tom and Erin are suddenly boring and old hat, and not, it's like, it is a ballroom dance competition. I don't know a lot, other than maybe like me, I don't know a lot of people who, when they're like 21 or 22, they're like, you know what I want to watch? Dancing with the Stars.
Well, the other thing is there, for the most part, besides like maybe one or two, really young people, Disney people, you're bringing in people like James Vanderbeek, which is from like my generation of watching stuff. And I'm in my mid 40s. So I am the demo that is watching this show. So if you're going to bring in someone like him, where I'm going to be like, oh man, I remember watching him when I was like a teenager. He's like the same age as me now. We're all in the demo together. Then you're not going to be bringing in 21-year-olds. They're going to be like, who is this guy?
I gotta think that there is someone over at ABC right now who, if this is the reason that they're trying to make it younger, who's just sort of like mad with power, and they think that this is the thing that's gonna make the show better. And number one, they run the risk of scaring away their older demographics who watch it. And number two, like let's say
older people spend money.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah,
we spend money. I spend money.
Like let's try to think of a non-problematic YouTuber here. They bring in
us.
Okay,
no,
well,
actually, I'm kidding.
Insert non-problematic YouTuber here. Let's say they want to bring that person on the show. That's great. Maybe they'll get a lot of like 24-year-olds who are interested in watching them, but they're probably also going to have a lot of their core audience who's sort of like, who's going to have no idea who this person is. And yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah, that happened over on Masked Singer. They brought in JoJo Siwa, they brought in Ninja, and people were like, I don't know who these people are. And I don't know that it really changed who was watching the show, because then you're still watching. It's like, and it's Gladys Knight, and it's all these other people who are a bit older, where you're kind of like, okay, well, we're still kind of in that same demo.
All right, are you ready to dive into murky waters here? Because
yeah, we need to talk about the elephant in the room here, which is the whole debate that went on with Tom, with Network Executive Man, and Sean Spicer. So let's just rip off the Band-Aid and talk about it.
Yeah, because if we're thinking, okay, what could have been a conflict that led to something, we already know Tom was outspoken about how he did not like the idea that they cast Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars, and he wants it to be a political free zone, which I get fully. I don't have any problem with people talking politics away from dance. Everybody's talking politics right now. It's 2020, but nobody else on the show was known for their politics. Like, nobody else is a politician. Sean Spicer works in politics by trade, incredibly divisive. I got Tom's point, but maybe Tom was like, I don't want this anymore, and maybe that is a non-negotiable for the network, that if they want to bring in, insert controversial, problematic this political figure and be on the same season with the problematic YouTube star, but they want to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, he was vocal with them to say that he didn't want this to happen. They were like, sorry for your luck, Tom, it's happening. And maybe it's possible that they thought that that was going to squash it, and that then Tom was just going to be like, okay, well, it's happening, so I'm just going to sit in my corner and be quiet about it, and he wasn't. But the thing is Sean being on the show makes it that no one is quiet about it. You know, Karamo said something after the show about talking to him and having an okay relationship with him. And, you know, so if it's not okay for Tom, then it shouldn't be okay for Karamo. And then you're also just looking at the people watching the show. I had more sort of debates and seeing people talking about Sean, not his dancing, getting really political about it, voting for him to make people angry and upset everybody, and it wasn't fun anymore. Like, the show is a stupid dancing show with silliness and just fun and nonsense, and then all of a sudden now it's a political platform, Dancing with the Stars. So I get where Tom was coming from, and I'm in that same boat. I don't want any political people. I don't care what side of the coin you are on. If you are a politician, please don't be on the show. I want to watch this show as a way to escape, because let's all be honest here. There is nowhere really that you can go to just have silly, fun, dancing, costumes, glitter masks. Nowhere. So as soon as you bring in Sean Spicer, the show is no longer that anymore. Now it's people fighting on social media about politics when people are doing the cha-cha here. Like, it's quite silly.
I want to spend my Monday nights debating as to whether or not Kel is going to do a dance inspired by Good Burger. I do not want to spend my Monday nights talking about, oh, here is Sean Spicer, how am I going to deal with angry people who are upset one way or another. It's just like, I want to enjoy dancing for what it is. I think Tom, he's a steward of the show. He's been there, and I'm not trying to slight Erin, and I know we haven't talked as much about her, but, you know, Tom has been there for so long that I think he knows more than anyone why people watch.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder, like, you know, this is just our theory, that maybe him being outspoken about it, even though he was kind of told, look, it's happening, so let's all move on. And he was like, nah, I'm not moving on. I still am going to say what I want to say, which is fine. He can say what he wants to say. Everybody was. But then if we are in a situation where maybe that is the reason he was let go, then why was Erin let go as well? Was it just kind of a like, oh, we don't want it to look like we're getting rid of him because of what he said, so sorry, casualty, Erin, you're going to go down too. Like, it feels very murky and strange. Just something isn't being said.
Okay, I'll give you a couple off-the-wall theories here that are really out there. So one of them is Erin, if I remember correctly, she does a lot of broadcasts for another network that is sort of sports-related. Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't want to have somebody who was working with another network anymore. They've put up with it for a while. Maybe it's cross-competition. I don't really think that it's it. I'm more... And the other idea I thought about is it money? Because you're paying basically two people here. Theoretically, could you hire, I'm just going to say JoJo Siwa because I know she has she has enough energy to do this.
Yeah, she does.
Are you going to bring in JoJo Siwa and she's going to go from like interviewing people to then running over here and doing the other person's job and then running back, and it's could you hire in one person cheaper?
Yeah, or could you stage it so that one person can do everything? It doesn't have to be one person downstairs, one person upstairs. Can you not just have the interviews right there, or move over to the side and have them at the side and make a cut? Like, there are ways to do this with one host. It doesn't have to be two. So could it be a money thing? Sure. They could be wanting to save some money. Tom's been on the show for like 15 years. He can't be cheap.
Yeah.
So having him, plus you're paying for Erin Andrews, they could just get one new person to come in and do this for much cheaper. And then maybe they can put budget towards getting bigger stars.
I hope they put money towards bigger stars, but yeah, where I'm landing right now with all of this is I think it's a combination of a couple of things. I think it's a combination of them being deluded in their belief that getting new hosts will shake up the show in a good way, and also them being cheap. Like, that's where I'm landing on it now. It don't mean that I'm right, but it's just where I'm sort of thinking about it.
It just depends, I guess, on how much the audience really cares about Tom, and I think people do, because we have seen host changes on AGT, and the show is trucking along. Like, there is nobody having a freak out about it, and that's a show I feel like can change again, and it will still be okay. Here, though, Tom is a staple. It is kind of like getting rid of Len and then people being like, okay, well, now where's our grumpy pants judge that's going to come in here and hate everything? He is a staple of the show, too.
I will admit, I'm extremely biased towards Tom. I love Tom. I've watched Tom ever since he hosted Hollywood Squares with Whoopi in the center square in the middle of it. I've always found him to be fun and engaging on the shows. I think
he's funny.
He's got so many really memorable moments and off-the-cuff remarks, and I think he brought so much to it. And, you know, if they announce that for whatever reason they're not bringing the judges back, I mean, I will be upset about that. I don't know if I'll be as upset as I am about Tom. I don't know if Lynn's going to make the trip anyway, but I just feel like this is a huge blow to the show, and depending on when they come back, who they cast, who the new host is, this could be a ballroom bugaboo like no other. I've been holding on to that for like 2 minutes.
No, it's really true. I mean, they have to have exactly the right host at this point, and for who they're changing over your demo is not easy, and it's not always that good of an idea. Like I said, older people spend money, younger people spend money. It's just a falsehood that older people don't spend money, and you can lean into that more and get more older people in the demographic to watch the show. Just lean into one or the other. Don't bring in Ninja or, you know, Disney people if you're also then going to bring in James Van Der Beek. I know I'm railing on James. I love James, but it is an older demographic. Like, pick a lane and stay in that lane. Either make it for younger people and bring in younger people, or don't.
Justice for Tom.
But also stop bringing in politicians, please. I don't care what side of the coin you're on. Do not bring them in anymore.
Yeah.
Just in case you're listening, network executive man.
Yeah. I'm sure you are really enjoying this video. 18 minutes in, network executive man, about Dancing with the Stars. Also, don't do this to Tom. But anyway, all right. Well, what?
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm really bummed that they're both leaving. It really sucks.
Yeah, I'm bummed by it. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. But let us know what your take is on Tom Bergeron and Erin Andrews leaving. Mm-hmm. Do you have any suggestions for future hosts? Do you think there is even a 1% chance that we're getting a season of Dancing with the Stars in September? Because I don't even think I'm at 1% right now.
And also, what do you think is the reason that this happened? Do you really believe them that this is a shakeup, that that's what they've chosen to do? Or do you think it's something else?
Let us know. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.